What is up, guys? Your agent Tyler Wayrung here, back to answer some more HELOC questions for you. And guys, if you're new here, I'm Tyler Wayrung, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and author of the book Unlocking Millions, the ultimate guide to using and investing with the HELOC, but we'll talk more about that later. Guys, today we're here to answer a question, a great question that I got in the comments that I thought would provide value to all of you. And that question is from JCMDFGDFG3DF. Very clever name there, very unique. All right, so his question is, what happens if I get a HELOC based on the current value of my home, but then the market drops and my house is worth less? Will the amount available on my HELOC change too? And that's a great question. So to answer this, I'll speak in generalities because all HELOCs are different. But in general, banks are going to give you a HELOC up to the 80% loan to value of what your home is worth. So there's going to be that 20% buffer gap specifically for situations like this, so that if the market drops a little bit, they feel like they're still not over leveraging themselves. They give themselves that 20% cushion there, potentially for things that could go wrong for you not paying to account for that risk, and also for the market risk. So to answer your question, the banks, once they issue that line of credit, they don't typically look at it again or monitor it on a monthly, weekly, even yearly basis that I'm aware of. So there are no cases that I know of where they specifically, the market drops a little bit and they adjust your HELOC balance. However, let's talk about some things that we do know that happened back in 2008 with the biggest real estate crash in the last 100 years. So back in 2008, what the lenders did when things got really ugly is, instead of reducing the amount of your HELOC based on real estate values, they basically just froze the accounts altogether. And in the book, and anytime I talk about HELOCs, I do try to make people aware that this risk is out there, that they could go ahead and freeze this line up. So back in 2008, for existing accounts out there with a zero balance, they froze them and just said, hey, we're not allowing anything else to come out on this. We think real estate's too risky at the moment, and it's just very uncertain. So we're not letting anyone take any more debt against their property because they're likely already underwater, but we saw real estate values drop by over 50% in some cases. So they did freeze those. Now, what happens if you already had a balance on there? So I have a $50,000 HELOC and I pulled $50,000 out. What did they do in that scenario? They just froze the account and not let you pull any more out. But as long as you are making your current payments, they let you keep that account open because they want to get paid back, right? So essentially, we have to use history to kind of project out into the future of how this scenario could play out again. So with that being said, there's really not an increased risk factor here. If real estate values do drop, you should never take out money on a HELOC that you can't pay back anyway. So whether or not the value drops and you may be underwater or not, don't take it out unless you can make that monthly payment back, so you'll be able to do that. However, if you have a big HELOC and the market hits the tank again, they might freeze it, and in that case, you're in the same boat you're in now. So in my opinion, it's not a huge risk out there, but I do think that's a great question and something you should be aware of going into this, kind of knowing what the risks and how the macroeconomic environment can impact your HELOC that you are taking out. So guys, I hope that was helpful to answer questions like that. Give me some feedback down below if you like this style of video. And if you do have a question there, it might turn into a future video as well. So drop your specific questions down there. I'll do my best to answer those. And guys, if you want to learn more about all things HELOC, check out the book in the description below, Unlocking Millions, where I poured everything I know and have learned about using and growing your real estate empire with HELOCs. That'll be down in the description below. And as always, if you got any value out of this video, like, subscribe, share, or comment down below would be greatly appreciated. But with that, guys, I'm Tyler Wayrung, and we'll catch you next time.